Good morning, cult members. Welcome to Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And this is episode 2 of TV Time. That's right. We started a show just to talk about TV because there's a lot.
There is.
And we know there's a lot because I spent all week getting notes together and then we threw them all out the window. That's pretty much what it came down to.
Too much.
This week we will be doing a little bit of the Emmy talk. To be incredibly honest with everybody, we've only watched maybe like 2 or 3 of the Emmy nominated shows because we don't watch This Is Us and Marvelous Miss Maisel and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but we'll get into that in a minute. But really what we wanted to do first is ask you something very nice. Would you be really cool and subscribe to our channel? We're not begging. We're putting this out there for free. Okay, maybe a little. We're asking nicely. We put this out there. We talk about TV. We do a big show. We talk about movies and cons and stuff like that. We do movie reviews. We just did one for White Boy Rick.
Yep.
And so all we ask from you is that you subscribe to this channel. That's it. We don't ask you to put in money. We don't ask you to do anything else. Just subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications. And then if you're feeling generous and you like what we're doing, share it with your friends. If you're sitting around at dinner and somebody's talking about politics and something like that and you're done with that, pull up our page and say, look at these 2 idiots talking on the internet about TV shows and movies and stuff.
Right.
I like it. All right. So we're going to start with something that's completely relevant, and that is we finally finished Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
We don't even have an excuse for this one. It's not on CW or
Right.
It's
right.
on ABC.
It's on ABC, and we have really enjoyed the first 4 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, when they started Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC, it was directly connected to the MCU.
Yeah.
And they were using that platform to set up the Inhumans movie and then the Inhumans TV show, and then they got away from it because Inhumans ended up being a dumpster fire.
Right. And
so they've been kind of doing their own thing. The end of last season, they did 2 different story arcs last season. They did Ghost Rider, Hellboy. That's what they did. They did Ghost Rider the first half, and then they did the AMDs, the androids that took over people's bodies, and then they ended up in the Matrix essentially for a while and stuff.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed both parts of that season, but the problem with that was it was 2 different parts to the same story.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, it's okay. You know, we talk about shows being too long, and this helps that, right? They do 2 distinct, the fall season and then the spring season, and they're 2 distinct stories. And that kind of happened this year for different reasons, but they did kind of tie it all back together.
Now, they tried to cancel this show several times. ABC has, and Disney and Marvel have come in and said, no. And so this season really felt like it was going to be their last season. They did a lot of things of throwbacks to previous seasons. They had former characters show up, and they did flashbacks and stuff. They were in space for a while. Overall, I really liked this season.
I did too. Yeah.
We're not going to spoil anything. We both, although, have issues with the way they ended the season.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to talk about the fact that they talked about the stuff that was going on in New York during Infinity War.
Yeah.
And
so Thanos
essentially is what, but they didn't say anything specifically. They didn't name characters by name or anything like that. They just said, are you watching the news? You see what's going on in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of showed the cleanup of New York in the background on one of the screens a couple of times. But outside of that, their story arc, being in space, coming back to Earth, the whole storyline, they weren't afraid this year to introduce characters and then kill them off and do a whole bunch of different things. I was really impressed with this season.
Yeah, I really liked it. I liked both stories. Like I said, I liked that they kind of melded them back together so that it all made sense.
And they melded, like I said, they melded in previous seasons in too. So
yeah, like every time you turn around, some character you haven't seen since season 1 or season 2 shows up, and you're like, hey,
you're on a different show and you came back. That's awesome. overall, I would say this is definitely a season worth watching.
Yeah.
The problem I'm going to say, though, is you almost need to watch some of the previous seasons to understand a lot of the references that happened in this season.
Well, at least to appreciate
some of the storylines and callbacks and stuff like that. We're also going to make this the pop choice of the week.
Yep.
We do once a week. We do a choice of a show that we think that you should watch. Last week we did Magic for Humans. This week we're going to do Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Go watch it. You could sit down and watch this season, season 5, without doing the previous stuff. But like we said, you should probably do some catch up. And they're going to do a 13 or 16 episode arc next season, and they're already filming that because Clark Gregg filmed the first 2 episodes coming into the new season. So I'm interested in are they going to deal with the So questions and questions and questions. Definitely worth the watch. At FanX Salt Lake last weekend, Katie Lutz and Brandon Roth were both there, and they did a joint panel. And it was brought up during that panel, how do you guys feel about being left out of the crossover event for the Arrowverse this year? And they both were really kind of cool with their answers.
Yeah.
And
okay, first of all, I'm not sure what they were supposed to say.
Right, there's some legitimacy to that. But Katie Lutz spoke very kindly of the fact that they have 8 characters on their show.
Yeah.
And they're kind of a different show than everything else in the Arrowverse.
Yeah, and it kind of, they almost have to shoehorn what's going on with them into the crossover to everybody else.
And what they're doing this year, they have Batwoman, they have Lois Lane, Superman showing up. They just hired Dr. Freeze's wife. They cast Dr. Freeze's wife in this. So if they're going to do that storyline, it's going to be really hard for them to shoehorn the 8 characters that are doing the space-time travel stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So I just thought I just wanted to mention it because, I love Katie Lutz and I love Brandon Roth. I think they're perfect for that show, and Katie has been very good as the lead of that show. And when she first showed up on Arrow, you never really thought that she would be a lead of a show.
Right. Yeah.
But she has been doing a pretty good job of it.
Yeah.
We'll skip that one.
Yeah.
We want to talk about the Emmys for a minute. Now, like we said, this is going to be our main topic for the show today. A lot of this Emmy talk, okay. There's the daytime Emmys, and then there's the other Emmys, and then there's the technical Emmys, and then the main Emmys themselves have like 45 different categories. There's comedy series, there's limited comedy series, there's drama, there's limited drama series, there's best actor, best supporting actor, and
and yet they still keep putting Orange is the New Black in comedy.
Right. Right. So we just want to run over some of the stuff that we are looking forward to that we hope would win, but again, I don't know what.
Mostly because we haven't seen the rest of them.
We haven't seen the rest of them. Outstanding comedy series. Everybody said Barry's really good. Glow is supposed to be amazing. Marvelous Miss Maisel should win, even though we haven't seen
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Drama series. Americans end with the flurry. The Crown has been so good. Game of Thrones. We're always going to pick Game of Thrones. Stranger Things again, but This Is Us is probably going to win.
I don't know. This is the last season for the Americans. They might give it to them just because.
Just because.
But, I mean, The Crown was awesome. Game of Thrones was awesome. Stranger Things was awesome.
And I like to point out, too, we have Westworld with HBO. This Is Us is NBC, I believe.
CBS.
Stranger Things is Netflix. Handmaid's Tale is Hulu. Game of Thrones is HBO. Crown is
Netflix.
Is it BBC? Did they start off on BBC?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's...
And then The Americans was on FX. So one major TV network is represented in there. Limited series I don't care about. Lead actor in a comedy series. Now, a lot of people have been saying Bill Hader in Barry is going to win this, but I really want to see Ted Danson win it for Good Place, because a career TV guy who's been on a ton of different TV shows, and he's getting this resurgence in this show that everybody's like, it's not going to make it. It's not going to make it. They're going to the third season. Everybody loves it. I'm thinking about when I finish Clone Wars, going back and catching up with it and stuff. Supporting actor in a comedy series. There's a bunch of Saturday Night Live people, and Barry Baskets, Lonnie Anderson and Baskets.
Louis Anderson.
Louis.
I don't get Baskets at all. It's like Portlandia. I tried to watch Portlandia, and I was like, I don't get it.
I don't get it. Not our thing. Leader. I did it again. Leading actress in a comedy series. Rachel Bozhana from Marvelous Miss Maisel should win it. I mean, she holds that show down. She's the reason that show was amazing. And they're coming back for a second season. So it's been a while since they really actually seen anything. Supporting actress in a comedy series, Zazie Beetz. Come on, but there's 3 people from Saturday Night Live, so apparently that counts as a thing.
Yeah, it's a show.
It is a show. I mean, but I see it as a sketch comedy show and not like a comedy series show.
Sketch comedy.
I don't know.
A category.
It might be. It's the Emmys. There's like 50 of them, right? Leader. I did it again.
Lead
actor in a drama series. Sterling K. Brown and Milo from This Is Us. Ed Harris and Jeffrey Wright from Westworld. I think they're going to all kind of cancel each other out.
Okay.
Unless what I'm hearing about Sterling K. Brown and This Is Us, he's like the reason that show is amazing.
Well, it's Sterling K. Brown, right?
But,
and I mean, Milo Ventimiglia is good too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been fans of his since Heroes, and he was awesome on Heroes.
And Ed Harris is good,
right?
But
supporting actor in a drama series. There's only one answer. It's David Harbour from Stranger Things. I mean, come on, I'm wearing my Dustin shirt.
Peter Dinklage.
I know. There's only one answer. Actually, I would say.
And Matt Smith is amazing as Prince Philip in The Crown.
Right. I'm interested to see how they handle that time jump, because they recast all of Crown for the next season. So I'm wondering how. It's almost kind of an anthology series kind of now, where they're doing individual series for each season with the time jump and going forward, and I'm wondering how people are going to react to that after having so much.
Well, they only did 2 seasons with Claire Foy and Matt Smith. So
yeah, and they're all moving on to bigger and better things.
Yep.
Lead actress in a in a drama series, Tatiana Maslany from Orphan is the New Black. Orphan Black is the weirdest crossover ever. If all the clones are in prison together, it would be called Orphan is the New Black. And somebody needs to do that as a parody. That show is done. So is The Americans with Kerry Russell.
Yeah.
Claire Foy from The Crown. She's
amazing.
All of them could be in it.
I think it's going to be Sandra Oh, though. Everybody's been saying that Killing Eve is amazing.
Yeah. The supporting actress in a drama series, Millie Bobby Brown for Stranger Things, Vanessa Kirby for The Crown,
Lena Headey.
There's
Headley.
There's 3 supporting actresses from Handmaid's Tale. Again, I think they're going to cancel each other out. So, reality competition series, variety sketch show.
Oh, hey!
See, I told you.
But not the characters in. It's just the show itself.
Right. Drunk History's in there, so
nice.
I love that. Outstanding variety talk series. Now, Trevor Noah taking over for The Daily Show. It's taken a different turn from what Jon Stewart was doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's really cool because he gives a different perspective. Being born in South Africa, spending time in London, moving to the States, that kind of thing. And then the only other category I want to talk about is Outstanding Limited Series. The Assassination of Gianni Versace, the Picasso series, Godless, all that's awesome. The Alienist was so cool. They got 6 nominations, and I want them to win everything so they can come back and do season 2.
So this is right. They've already said they're coming back and doing a season 2. Yeah. So how is that a limited series?
I don't know.
Because
there's only 6 episodes.
Taboo should have been in there too.
Yeah, Taboo was 8. I think both of those series were 8 episodes apiece.
And they got it's going to be the assassination of Gianni Versace. Too Italian.
Yeah. And I was really interested in the Picasso series because they had Antonio Banderas playing Picasso. Yeah. And that was supposed to be really well done. But I think it was like on the History Channel, and it's one of the channels we don't get. So we will do a rundown of all the winners next week. Yep. Because the Emmys are tonight. But we'll do a rundown tomorrow. Tomorrow. Next week and everything. We have... we're going to do something over the next couple of weeks, and that's preview shows that are coming to different streaming services and different TV channels and stuff like that. This week, we are going to do 3 new shows that are coming. The first one we're going to do is called The First. And it came out on Friday. It is Sean Penn going to Mars.
Apparently, yeah.
And that is, we just watched the trailer again before we got into this. And the discussion of it is dealing with the leaving.
Yeah, it seems...
And how to deal with the
It kind of seems a lot like The First Man. I mean, not... that it's about Neil Armstrong, but just The First Man, from the trailers we've seen, seemed to be a lot about the leaving, especially this is the first time people are actually going to walk on the moon, and we have no idea how we're going to deal with that. So it kind of seemed like that, too. It's
coming to Hulu, and it's done by the other people outside of Kevin Spacey who did House of Cards. And so, which is why you're able to get Sean Penn to be in this show, and he's in his 50s and just ripped.
Is Robin Wright part of it?
It would be awesome if she was. It would be awesome. Actually, I think they've always been.
Because they have kids together, so they've been civil.
The next one we're going to talk about is Maniac. Now, I had not seen anything about this until we actually got this. 25 or 23 shows you should be looking forward to from Thrillist. And so as I'm scrolling through, this one popped up, and it comes out on the 21st of September. So that's next Friday, and it's coming to Netflix. It stars Emma Stone, Jonah Hill, Justin Trudeau, Sally Fields, and it looks like a psychological thriller dealing with your mind.
Yeah. And they seem to travel to different places in their mind because of whatever it is Justin Trudeau's character is doing to their minds, and they keep, apparently, Emma Stone and Jonah Hill keep finding each other in all these different realities.
It's very cool because specifically Emma Stone, but Jonah Hill, now that he's lost a ton of that weight too, are able to do that broken look where your eyes are sunken and you look very kind of just depressed and whatever. But then you're able to, because they're going into these different fantasy worlds or whatever, they're able to dress up and look different better. And stuff like that. Yeah. I just this show only exists because of Legion.
Yeah. Because it definitely looks like one of those you're going to have to pay attention to shows.
Yeah, yeah. And they're doing it. It's a very limited series, and they're only doing one. So I'm really interested to see what they do. I get the feeling this one and the first, both, where we have this awesome script, but we can't fit it in a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
So let's maybe expand the script and do a limited 6, 8, 10 episode series and go forward with that.
Which is what they should have done with that other one with...
Michael Pena.
Yeah, Michael Pena. Yeah, they should have made that into a series.
Evolution, Extinction. Yeah, that's what they should have done with that one. And then the last one we're going to talk about this week of new shows that we're looking forward to is The Chilling Adventure of Sabrina. It comes out on Netflix on October 26th. Now, This is a remake of Sabrina Teenage Witch. However, if you watched Sabrina back in the day, it was a very much of a teeny kind of...
Yeah, it was a teenager version of Bewitched.
Bewitched, right. Which is cool. This is not that.
No.
This is super dark, super occult, dealing with... holy cow. Like, it's... I've watched the trailer 3 times now. I'm scared already.
I don't know if it's going to be more charmed and the previews are just trying to make it a little more adult than it is, or I don't know. I'm reserving judgment.
They have introduced Sabrina in the Rivendell universe. It is a Greg Berlanti show, and it's going to be a crossover. She's showing up in Rivendell for a couple of episodes and then going on to do her... So it's kind of a backdoor pilot kind of thing.
Okay.
Which means Rivendell and Chilling Adventures of Sabrina are going to be the same universe.
Right. And Rivendell seems a little more PG-13, so that makes me wonder if it's going to be more charmed than...
But it's coming to Netflix and not CW.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's true.
And it looks super dark and super, like... it's got my attention. And when they first announced that they're bringing back Sabrina, I was like, really, Sabrina?
Yeah.
But if they're going to do this with it, which is where Buffy and Angel kind of ended up going to.
Yeah, as much as
they could. When
Fox would let them.
Yeah. So that kind of has gotten our attention. So those are 3 shows that we'll be watching here coming up. The problem is we don't have Hulu.
Soon, I think.
First,
I think we're just gonna have
Castle Rock
breakdown it. Because now all this stuff is coming to Amazon, and we were gonna get rid of Amazon and get Hulu, and we're just gonna end up.
King
with
Lear's coming to Amazon in a month, and so we're gonna spend all the money.
Somebody has a Hulu account that they wouldn't mind letting us.
We would totally borrow it for the next 10 months so we can catch everything. We need somebody to sponsor this show so I can stay home and watch everything. Please. So those are our 3 shows that we'll be watching. We suggest that you go out and watch them. And like I said earlier on, our pop choice of the week is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Go watch that season. Go watch that series. Support that show because it is awesome. You don't have to be into the Marvel universe to actually love that show.
Nope.
That's this week's show of TV Time. We appreciate you watching this long. All we ask that you subscribe to the channel. I know, asking a lot. And share with your friends. You can get a hold of us, too, on our social media network. We're at PopCultureCult on Facebook, PopCultureCult1 on Instagram, at Pop_Cult1 on Twitter. And until next time, good morning now.